Hey, what is going on, guys? It is LynxWarlord here, bringing you a killstreak breakdown video. Now, in this video, we're going to be comparing the AC-130 versus the PaveLow. Now, I have had a lot of requests to do this video, guys. Lots of people have been coming to me asking me to do a breakdown video of these two killstreaks. So, I'm finally going to be putting one out, guys, and I'm going to be telling you which one's best, why it's better, and the pros and cons of both killstreak, guys. So, let's get down to it. Hopefully, this is going to be a really nice video, and yeah, sit tight, guys. So let's start with the good points on the AC-130, guys. Now, first of all, the main point about the AC-130 is that it is very, very cool. It's cool to be in a plane flying around the map shooting rockets and missiles down. That's cool. No one can deny the fact it's a very, very cool killstreak, which kind of is a very good point because I like using cool things in Modern Warfare 3. Now, the second point is that it has two sets of flares, which the PaveLow doesn't have. The PaveLow only has one set of flares. Now, this means that one guy using Blind Eye and a Stinger missile cannot take this AC-130 down. So he'll have to die first, or someone else on the team will have to do that. Now, another good point with the AC-130 is that it has a variety of weapons. It's not just one weapon. There is 3 different weapons. You know, it's got the big cannon, it's got the smaller cannon, and then it's got the little machine gun. You know, so it's a variety. You know, it's a learning experience. You can have fun with it. You can develop your skills with it, and it's controlled by you. That's a really nice point. The fact that you can actually control this killstreak. It's like a chopper gunner. You know, killstreaks that are controlled by you are fun. It's nice to have you know, that skill level that you can control and you can get better with. And it's nice to set yourself little goals to do with it. You know, and it's just awesome to get multi-kills with an AC-130. I mean, who doesn't like shooting a massive cannon into a group of people on ground, or, you know, getting a 7-kill multi-kill? You can do that with an AC-130. It's very difficult, but you can definitely do it. And, you know, one of the main points with an AC-130 that everyone always forgets about is that you can always call in an AC-130. There is never something in the sky that lets you not call one in unless there's another AC-130 already out. So if the enemy team have got a PaveLow, you can call your AC-130 in. If your team's got a PaveLow or a chopper gunner, or an attack helicopter, you can call it in. If they've got a Reaper, you can call it in. And, you know, the good thing about the PaveLow is that if they've got a PaveLow or something and you call in your AC-130, you can use your AC-130 to destroy their PaveLow, or to destroy their attack helicopter or recon drone or assault drone. You know, it can really, really help out your team, guys, which is really, really cool. So let's move on to the bad points now with the AC-130. Now, one of the main bad points is also one of the main good points, which is that it is controlled by you. You are really, really vulnerable when you're on the ground with the AC-130. So if the enemies get a UAV and you've not got assassin on, you can easily get killed. You are just a sitting duck. And the next big problem with the AC-130 is that it's really, really short. You only get it for like 30 seconds, which is really quite bad, you know. So if you have a bad AC-130 and it only lasts 30 seconds, you might feel like you've been screwed out of a PaveLow kind of thing, because, you know, a PaveLow would last a little bit longer, and it's cool to have a kill streak that lasts a little bit longer, because, you know, if you've worked hard for this 11 or 12 kill streak, then it's pretty upsetting when you just get no kills with it. You know what I mean, guys? And the problem is, it's really situational, the AC-130. So if you get an AC-130 on Seatown or Carbon, you are not going to get very many kills with that, guys. I've uploaded videos of me doing really bad with the AC-130 on these maps, and it's really annoying. It's really disheartening, because, you know, if you had a different kill streak on, you would have got a lot more kills with it, because on some maps, guys, it's just too difficult to get the kills with. And another bad point with the AC-130 is that it's all down to spawn protection. And what I mean by that is, in Modern Warfare 2, you could shoot the AC-130 into the spawn the second they've just spawned, and it would kill them. You know, they wouldn't pop up on the radar, but it would kill them. But in Modern Warfare 3, there's a spawn protection, which means they won't die for the first 5 seconds they spawn into the game, which basically renders this kill streak a lot worse than it should have been, you know. And if spawn protection wasn't in the game, this would be much, much better, guys. And one of the other problems with the AC-130 is that it does take skill to use, and it can be very difficult to get the grips with, especially because it's quite a high kill streak to get. And, you know, the rewards in the early days with the AC-130 can't be that great, so a lot of people end up giving up on it, guys. So let's move on to the PaveLow instead, guys, and let's look at some of the good points for the PaveLow. Now, first things first with the PaveLow is, you know that feeling when you just call in a PaveLow, or your team calls in a PaveLow, and you just know the game's over, because, you know, if you're on a team deathmatch and you've got a PaveLow, the game's over. You know, if you're on a domination and you lose, and you know that PaveLow is going to help you get to those flags, it's going to help you win the game, it's going to get you those kills. You know, that feeling when there's a PaveLow on the map, or when you're on the other team and your enemies get a PaveLow, you know, it's just like, oh shit, there's a PaveLow, god damn it. It's a nightmare. If you haven't got stingers on your back when there's a PaveLow coming in, you know you're not going to have fun for that next minute and a half or whatever, guys, because it's just it's a very threatening kill streak. And, you know, PaveLows do get a hell of a lot of kills. When PaveLows, if a PaveLow is left alone, it will get a hell of a lot of kills, guys. Now, it'll probably get more kills than an AC-130, because a PaveLow lasts longer than an AC-130. A PaveLow lasts like 45 seconds or a minute. I don't know exactly what it is, but it does last longer. does last longer, that is, guys. Now, it finds its own enemies. This is something that the AC-130 does not do. The PaveLow finds its own enemies, which is really, really good because it flies around the map, looks for enemies, kills them, okay? The AC-130 is just flying in a set path, and you've got to find the enemies yourself because it's controlled by you. Now, the PaveLow isn't controlled, which means that you can actually go and get more kill streaks whilst your kill streak's out, which is really, really good because if there's a PaveLow and you're on a really built-up map, you'll know the enemies are going inside, so you can go out inside whilst your PaveLow's outside shooting enemies, which means you can then get the enemies which are in the buildings, which is really, really good. It's kind of like having the chopper gunner and the dogs out, because in Black Ops when you had the dogs would go and get the enemies outside, inside the building, sorry, and then you could get them with your chopper gunner, which made it really, really useful, you know. And you know, the PaveLow kills very, very fast. Once the PaveLow starts shooting someone, it kind of kills them because it's only like 1 or 2 shots with this massive gun that it's got on it, which is really, really good, guys. So yeah, let's move on to some of the bad points with the PaveLow now, because the PaveLow's got a lot of really good strong points, but it's also got some really bad weak points. So let's have a look at them now. Now, one of the main big problems with the PaveLow is that it's only got one set of flares, which means that one person can take your PaveLow down if they really want to take it down. All it means is that one guy who's got Blind Eye on, he just needs to shoot his 2 Stinger missiles at you. Now, if he's got Blind Eye Pro on, then he can really have your PaveLow down before it gets to the map, which is an absolute nightmare of a feeling, you know, and it's just not very nice, which it's not fair because it can get shot down by just one guy with his Stinger missiles. But one of the biggest problems with the PaveLow, which everyone forgets in breakdown videos, is that it needs airspace, which means if your team's got an attack helicopter up, or the enemy's got an attack helicopter up, or a PaveLow, or anything like that, you can't get your PaveLow into the game, guys, which is a nightmare because the amount of people in Modern Warfare 3 that run attack helicopters makes it very difficult sometimes to get your PaveLow into the actual game. Because often, for me, getting a PaveLow isn't that hard, but getting it into the game can be a real task, especially if it's close to the end of the game. So let's compare the AC-130 and the PaveLow together in a kind of in comparison. So let's do that now, guys. Now, with my experience in Modern Warfare 3, and my personal opinion, it's got to be the PaveLow hands down, because the PaveLow has too many strong points that just can't be ignored. And the AC-130 has its strong points, but its only really maximum strong points are when you're using them on ground war, on village, and no one's shooting you down, because then you can really shoot the enemies. You can get massive multi kills. But other than that, guys, the AC-130 it's piss poor because it just doesn't last as long. The spawn protection's an absolute nightmare, and it takes too much skill to use, because I personally put a lot of time into Modern Warfare 3 and I'm still not that good with the AC-130, and the fact is I'm not good with it because of the spawn protection, because I know where the enemies spawn, so I shoot my cannon and it just doesn't kill them, which is an absolute nightmare. But if I was using the PaveLow would go away and it would find them, it would just shoot them, kind of thing, which is better. And the PaveLow is kind of better, guys, because it takes less skill. You can run around and you can go and find enemies and get your kill streaks going again whilst your PaveLow's in the air, and it's really, really good, guys. The PaveLow, I'd say the PaveLow is twice as good as the AC-130, you know, because it just is. Now, I understand that it takes only one guy to shoot it down, but the fact is, you'll get that many more kills with a PaveLow than an AC-130 on the whole. So what I'm saying is that the PaveLow really does come out on top between the two. Now, obviously an AC-130 can destroy a PaveLow, but that's kind of irrelevant, because if you were able to get an AC-130 in the game, the other guy wouldn't be able to get a PaveLow, or if you were able to get a PaveLow, the other team wouldn't be able to get an AC-130 on the whole, unless there's a care package involved, guys. But that's not to say the AC-130 isn't absolutely brilliant, you know. It's a lot of fun, you know. The kill streaks are in there to make the game fun. It's nice kicking ass with your kill streaks, guys. So either way, guys, I recommend using the PaveLow hands down over the PaveLow pretty much every single time. So yeah, guys, I hope you've really enjoyed this review. If you'd like to see more of this, please leave a comment below and please leave a like. And as always, it has been LynxWarlord, and I'm rooting for the PaveLow, guys. Definitely put the PaveLow on there. Yeah, thank you very much, guys. It's been LynxWarlord.